G'day everybody, it's Joe again. Now, when you first decide to get into gaming, one of the questions that's going to crop up is, where can I find a gaming group? You may already have a group of friends who are gamers, but very often in your life you're going to find situations where you don't know anybody. You don't have a gaming group. And one of the wonderful things about gamers is that we are incredibly sociable people. We want these groups, we want these connections. And it's more than just computer games. We actually want the physical, tangible, visceral feeling of getting together around a table or having a few beers while we think of terrible, terrible things to do to our characters. So it's all about the society. Now, throughout your life, you're going to find times when you're without a gaming group. And the question does come up, where can I find a new group? It's a bit like saying, where can I find a date, or where can I find new friends? And this has happened to me several times in my life. When I left school, of course I was a huge gamer in high school, you can imagine, I was one of those guys. I pretty much left immediately and went overseas. I went to work in Hong Kong for many, many years, close to 20 years. And when I came back to Australia, I knew nobody. I had no gaming groups whatsoever, and I felt alone. I felt isolated. And as a gamer, that's really uncomfortable. So I started thinking about, where do I find, other gamers, new friends, basically. And so there's a couple of areas you can look at. I started with the gaming shops. So you just wander in the gaming shops. Now, what's interesting is that most gaming shops are staffed by people who are actually gamers. And ask them, where's the local gaming groups? Ask them, who's doing what group, and see if you, even go so far as to putting up a little notice on the board. I had some little business cards printed up and I would put them in the game shops on a regular basis until I started getting some nibbles. Sounds a little bit desperate, but you know what? Hey, it works. Gaming shops, goldmine for contacts. But an even bigger goldmine is universities. I actually went back to university to study, but it sounds terrible, but mostly so I could find new people to communicate with and find some fellow gamers. And I did. And in fact, one of those contacts is one of my best friends now, and I'm going to be his best man soon. So absolutely, take the opportunity to contact the local universities, find out what game groups they have, and then get involved with them. You don't have to do what I did, which is actually go back to university for a few years. You can just go and join those gaming groups, and I encourage you to do that. Local libraries are another great hotspot for finding fellow gamers. Increasingly, libraries are turning to role-playing games as a way of engaging particularly younger children, but also teens and so forth, in literature, in language. And as a result, if you ask your local libraries, they may know some gaming groups, or they may even have a gaming group themselves. Or they may, really importantly, they may be very keen for you to start a gaming group in them. And that kills two birds with one stone. One, you start to get a gaming group, but two, you get a great place to run games and you get great promotion. The internet, there's plenty of spaces on the internet where you can find gaming groups. In our write-up, I'll just give you a list of some of those. However, all of those require a fair amount of legwork. For me, the best way of finding fellow gamers, new gaming groups, is to go to the gaming conventions. Now, if you're in America, you're so lucky. You've got hundreds of these all over the place. If you're in Australia, less lucky, but we do have these cons, and they're running at least once a quarter. And if you go there, there'll be 100, 200, 300, 400, sometimes 700 or 800 people. Now, out of that 700 or 800 people, there's got to be some living around your area, and more importantly, there's got to be some people who share your sort of gaming interests. So I encourage you, get to the gaming cons, and better yet, take someone with you, take one of your buddies with you to the gaming cons. Really support them. We've actually created, because I think that gaming cons are so important for the gaming industry, for creating this cross-pollination of players and getting new gaming groups going, I've actually created a global database of gaming groups, and again, I'll put that on the screen at the end of this. So do support your local gaming groups. Do support your local game cons. And that's it, really. It just requires a little bit of legwork. Shops, universities, libraries, the internet, and definitely games cons. Thanks a lot, and I will see you in our next episode. Bye.